that was a hard day for
Oh,
sure.
yeah. Yeah.
But and I think we even have pictures where, at the end, you're still, there's some smiles there.
Oh, yeah.
You-
I think I've like wiped it from my memory.
Great.
Well, it's just you and me tonight.
Yep. Matt and Josh have the evening off.
Mm-hmm. And it's pretty fitting because tonight we are talking about something a little more personal,
Mm-hmm.
how cycling affects the relationship.
Yep. I'm ready.
Yeah. And I'm excited because we jotted down some hot button topics, moments that, depending on how we handled it, they either turned out pretty cute or just kind of catastrophic.
Yep. I would
So-
agree.
Let's dive in.
All right, let's do it.
Okay. So the first one we have is how we started riding together. And I think pretty much all of this, for me anyway, was really cute because you were cute. And
Aw.
and I honestly only started riding because you invited me and I thought, oh my gosh, he's so cute. How hard can it be? Just get a bike and just go.
What was that exactly what you thought it was going to be in the beginning? Just hop on the bike and...
How hard could it have been? Just get a bike and pedal. I knew how to ride a bike,
Right.
but other than that, did not expect anything else.
Right.
Yeah.
But what was interesting, or I think almost impressive, was that you dove in kind of head first. I mean, most people, if you
Mhm.
invite them out to ride or to get into cycling,
Mm-hmm.
they'll look for the cheapest bike possible,
Mm-hmm.
and they'll do the minimal commitment. But you launched right in. You bought
That's true.
kind of a mid-tier bike,
That's true.
which was a
Trek.
Silk,
Yeah.
but it had Ultegra components.
did.
It was a carbon
It did.
bike,
Yes.
and for a first road bike, that was all in.
Yeah. God, what was I thinking? Yeah. And I got a kit and shoes and the whole works. I mean, you
Yep.
were guiding me the whole time,
Sure.
letting me know you should get this, you should get that.
But usually people say no.
Yeah, you were
That's-
too cute.
that's
You
too-
were too cute. And I think the other thing was because I was starting and I was slow, you would ride slow and
Mm.
you would like help me up the hill and you'd push me up the hill. As Josh would say, that's an ass tap. But I didn't mind. I would.
You have to work that in there, huh?
I did.
Okay.
Every episode.
Oh, great.
But yeah, I thought, oh my gosh, he's like pushing me up the hill. And I, because I struggled a lot in the beginning.
Sure. And it did help because obviously I thought you were pretty cute as well. So riding slow was, I was happy to do it.
Yeah, I think for the most part, there wasn't really anything like catastrophic that happened in the beginning.
I mean, you're in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Yeah, exactly.
what could really go wrong? And
Right.
if something did go wrong, it was usually just ended up being more of a bonding experience anyway.
That's true.
Right? You
That's
had,
true.
I do remember you had a double foot cramp.
Oh God, yes.
Yeah. But see, that was funny. And
But it was still
after.
cute. It was still cute.
Right.
Because, you're like so concerned about me and,
Yeah.
not that you wouldn't be concerned now, but now you
Sure.
take pictures of me.
Yeah. It's a different kind of love. It's a good thing the guys aren't here. I think they would just be like, I need to leave.
Is this too mushy?
I hope not. But
Okay.
it doesn't stay that way very long.
Oh, no, it does not.
Okay. So next we enter the post honeymoon phase.
Mm.
And there's still a lot of cute going on.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I still thought you were super cute. Nothing had changed in that regard. And actually what was really cool was that for the first time, we were starting to speak the same language with regards to cycling. Right?
Yeah.
It wasn't like I was talking some foreign, like, what are you talking about? All these technical terms or whatever.
Right,
Like we
right,
shared those terms,
right,
you know,
right. And I
and
started to learn more from you because of that too.
right. So we were kind of settling into riding together,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and we had this commonality now, which
Yeah.
was really cool.
And we used to travel together. I think in that first year, we were kind of going to like San Fran and
Right?
Maui and San Diego even. Like, yeah, we
We
were going
went
all
all
over.
over the
Yeah.
place,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. I think that's really cute because we were like so excited to ride, or at least I was like
Right.
in other places because I've never done it before.
It was an adventure
Yeah, for
every
sure.
time.
For
Yeah.
sure. But
Mm.
there were, I would call it Catastrophes Brewing, or
That's so dramatic. They were like little challenges
Mm.
brewing.
Yeah, they did start to reveal themselves.
Sure.
I
Sure.
mean, especially for you
Mm-hmm.
not being able to train the way that, maybe you wanted to or that you could, pushing
Right.
yourself, because the skill gap between you and I was really big.
Sure. Sure. And obviously understandable. But since we had kind of shifted from this very honeymoon
Mm-hmm.
type of just ride together, and that's
Mm-hmm.
what's fun and exciting, to now looking at it in a more sustainable way,
Mm,
how do we get your ride in
right,
and a ride that keeps me in condition as well?
right.
And when you start looking at things in a sustainable way, it means like, okay, I only have so much time to exercise every day,
Mm-hmm.
so I can't necessarily be doing my ride and then go on
Mm-hmm.
a separate ride with you because there's just not enough time
Right.
in the day.
Or just go slow with me all the time. Like
Right.
that wouldn't be fair to you either.
I would start losing my
Yeah.
conditioning and whatnot.
So,
Therein lied the little bit
yes.
of friction there.
And I think that brings us to our next point,
Okay.
which is
Here we go.
you want you coaching me, basically.
Okay.
You wanted me to speed up.
Well,
Well, I wanted to speed up too.
now I should preface this whole segment about coaching with the idea that this was something that we kind of fell into rather naturally.
Mhm.
Since you weren't a cyclist and I was inviting you into the sport, I was naturally taking the time to kind of show you
Right.
the ropes at
Right.
every step. I mean, even before you started riding,
Yeah.
just giving you advice on bikes and what to consider and
Yeah.
equipment and all that kind of stuff. And so once we started riding,
Mm-hmm.
that continued.
Mm-hmm.
And I was trying to give you help on whether it was, clipping into
Mm-hmm.
pedals or,
Mm-hmm.
just tips on how to ride.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think there was probably like a misunderstanding of, what coaching was. And I
Mhm.
think probably in your eyes it was like the unappreciated coach.
It ended up that
Yeah.
way.
And then in my eyes, it was the unsolicited coach.
Sure. I think where the whole thing starts to get a little dicey is it's not necessarily about coaching or a coach and a trainee. It's more about the fact that you're also in a relationship.
Oh, yeah.
Whether you're just dating or you're actually married,
Mm.
that dynamic changes everything. As you so
Mm-hmm.
politely reminded me, that I am not a paid coach.
Yes.
And so because of that, it couldn't be treated as such. And I
Mm-hmm.
think, the whole unappreciated coach part comes from the
Mm-hmm.
fact that I feel like, hey, I'm trying to help you,
Right.
but not fully considering the dynamic of the relationship
Mm-hmm.
at the same time. That's where I think I missed.
Yeah, because the way I took some of your coaching, was kind of ego bruising in a way.
Well, you took it very personally.
I did.
Yeah.
I did. And I think at those times it felt very, I felt very judged because I was slow.
Mm.
I didn't know how to deal with it. And so whenever I'm uncomfortable, physically,
Mm-hmm.
there are, so many ways to irritate me. and
So many ways. Pretty much all the ways.
and I mean, not so much like irritate me, but just, kind of get under my skin. And I didn't, I wasn't a confident writer in terms of like that I could power through things or anything. So it did make me feel very, very judged, I
Sure.
guess. Yeah.
Well, and I think given your background, you weren't necessarily used to being coached to begin with.
Right.
And
Right.
so I think anytime you add that into the mix, it
Right. Right.
just worsens it.
And then since I didn't know how to push and everything, it felt like that you didn't understand that I was pushing, that you didn't get the fact that, you didn't believe me and you would tell me that I could go harder. And it's like, I am going harder. And I think I couldn't handle that. It was really, really emotional for me.
Right.
I think I needed direction on what to do rather than what not to do.
Mm.
And I wrote down some examples.
Okay.
And you have said both of these things at different times.
Okay. I didn't realize I was being recorded, but sure, let's do this.
Always in the mind.
Wow.
So, okay, for
It's not
instance,
uncomfortable.
on a flat, when we're like kind of just speeding on, you'd say things like, you're spinning out. That's why you're so tired. And so for me, I'm just trying to go, and I couldn't process, I'm spinning out. Well, what am I supposed to do? Like just break and then I don't know, like, and slowly over time, you change the way that you'd say things. And so if I do spin out now, you'd say something like, shift up a gear if you can, get more power in your stroke.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't want to say it's negative and positive. It's just doing something rather than not doing something. And that to me helped a lot more because it gave me something to do.
Sure.
Another one is when we're climbing a hill. And I've always had trouble climbing. And you would always tell me, don't tense up, you're slowing down. And it's like, well, yeah, because it's hard. And, I don't know what to do with that. But, over time, you would tell me, in fact, just the other day, you reminded me because it was a hard hill. And you told me, keep loose on top. Power from your core. Focus on making circles with your feet. Pedaling in circles, you would always tell me. And that made so much more sense. I could follow those directions. I could process that and do them. Rather than try to find a solution in the middle of trying not to do something else, right?
Sure.
That you were telling me.
Well, I think and correct me if I'm wrong, but on top of not giving you something to do, it seemed like it elicited kind of a defensive response internally. Because I could see it.
Oh, yeah. My whole inner being was like, fight. Like
you're a very emotional person. So
I am.
It's to be expected.
Especially when I'm in an uncomfortable situation.
Right.
Trying to, exert so much energy and power. And then, something comes in.
Yeah. I think that brings up a good point because, as a couple, your perspective in that very moment, your perspective and my perspective are so different, right? I might be riding right next to you.
Yeah.
But because I've been riding so much longer, I'm at I'm in a zone 1.
Yeah.
And I'm just having a conversation with you. And at that time, you're probably being pushed to the upper limit of what you were capable of. So your state of mind is completely different.
Yeah.
And you're incredibly uncomfortable. I'm very comfortable, wondering what's going on.
Why is she so slow?
Or why are you getting so mad? Right? So I think that's really important for couples to remember if there is that gap.
Right. Okay, I have one last example.
Okay.
And this one sticks with me because I actually repeat it to myself over and over. So when we were preparing for a hill that we knew it was coming up, you would say, don't fall behind on this hill coming up.
I'm sure I didn't say it like that.
And nowadays you would say something like, you can do it. Your quads are big muscles. They can handle it when you push them beyond what you think they can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I always think about this whenever I'm climbing up a hill.
Mm-hmm.
And every time it's burning, every time my legs are tired and fatigued and I just want to like back off just a little, I think of that and I'm like, no, my quads can handle it. My legs can handle it. I've never fallen off a bike because I couldn't pedal anymore. Like it was never that sore. So I can push more.
Right. Sounds like you got some good advice there.
I did. I did get good advice. And, you know, I know you feel like you were the unappreciated coach, but I do appreciate it. And I often think of this quote from Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you'll never know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. And I feel like all these coaching tips and advice and even the bad ones, it was still, I mean, not the bad tips. I mean, like the
wait, what bad tips?
The way that it came across or the way I took it,
right,
you know, where I would get mad or whatnot. It was still moments that I value because I learned a lot, even though I would get mad, even though I'd be crying on the side of the road or, you know, like those are other stories. But I mean, I really do value all of the coaching that you've given me over the years. So thank you. You are now an appreciated coach.
Oh, wow. This is a big moment for me. Well, thank you. I you know, to kind of echo the sentiment, seeing you progress and seeing you overcome all of these hurdles that you struggled with. And I think seeing you grow in that way was incredibly rewarding to witness.
Aww.
And it's amazing to witness because there's such monumental, I think, accomplishments from where you started to, you know, I mean, you know, when you first start, it's like 20 miles. Like, forget what speed, just 20 miles sounds like, you know, and then that changed, and then it was 50, and then it's how fast can you do the 50, and then it's, well, I'm going to do 100, and then you conquered that, and, you know, and hill after hill, and whatever it was to see you overcome that, and to see the struggle along the way, but ultimately end with you overcoming it, overcoming that hurdle is awesome to see. So I don't know if that's cute, but it's definitely rewarding. So the next thing I have on the list is something that we fell into kind of just by chance, but it ended up working out really well for us. And that is bike and ride prep.
Yeah. I think it works. So it's all cute because it works.
It's cute when it works. Okay.
Yeah. Because I think we divided and conquered,
That's true.
each task.
So, okay. So what we mean by that is every morning I take a little longer to get up and get ready. And so you started, without me asking, you started making all the bottles. You started
nothing else to do.
Well, I mean, it's nice that you just started doing these things. We didn't have any kind of discussion like you do this and you do this. It was just, we just started it. And you also started airing up all the tires. I remember back in the beginning, we had a floor pump and we had 23 mil tires. So we were pumping them up pretty high pressure. And you would have to basically jump.
Put all my body weight just to make each pump go down. Yes.
Now we're running wider, lower pressure on the tires, and we have a compressor.
Right. Which makes it so much
a lot
easier.
but still, the fact that you do that every morning, along with making all the snacks on longer rides,
Mm-hmm.
and then of course doing all the laundry, which ends up being a lot of laundry.
It is a lot of laundry, but you do a lot for me, so it's not that much. Like I forget all the time to charge my stuff.
True.
So
That is very
you
true.
you ended up just charging all of my devices, batteries, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
And
I don't think you'd be able to shift otherwise. It's better that I just prep that part of your bike for you.
yeah, but you also maintain all of our bikes.
Sure.
You wash all of our bikes.
That one is one that I actually was hoping you would wash your own bike, but
No, thank you.
I remember showing you that one time I showed you how to wash your bike, and you just had this expression of, it's great that you're showing me this, but this is never going to happen. And it was at that moment that I knew I was forever going to be washing both of our bikes. But at least you started wiping down your bike with equipment wipe in between.
I try to help. I just don't like taking everything apart and going, oh, I don't know how to put it back, which reminds me of the other thing that you do. You build our bikes.
Sure.
You put all of my components on.
Mm-hmm.
You change things when I'm not looking, and I'm like, ooh, what's so different about this? Something's different today.
I do think I know all of your bike fit measurements probably more than you do.
Oh, for sure. I don't even know. I barely know what size bike I ride.
Yeah.
So,
but teamwork, right?
Yeah. So the next one on our list is Adventures and Milestones, which are epic rides and monumental moments. And I think we have a lot of catastrophic and a lot of cute moments on this one.
Sure. I think this is actually where we hit kind of the summit of the mountain when it comes to the emotional aspect of this catastrophe portion.
Love your choice of words.
Sure.
So I'm going to start off with the catastrophes because we have a lot in here and they all fall on me. Thank you very much.
I note that I didn't say that. That came out of your mouth.
Well, looking back, the catastrophes really, really stemmed from the gaps in how we ride and as well as some expectations.
Sure.
I remember having a breakdown on one of our longer rides.
Are we talking about the Jensie?
Oh, that too.
There were multiple.
Yeah. But yeah,
multiple.
why don't you tell that story?
Okay, so for anyone who's not familiar, the Jensie is or was, unfortunately, a ride organized by Jens Voigt, former professional rider. And he had a ride up in Marin County, found out about it somehow and just thought, hey, that'd be a cool ride.
No, you thought it would be a cool ride.
Somehow I convinced you.
Yeah, somehow. Marin County is a very hilly, mountainous area. Beautiful.
Yes.
Beautiful, but hilly.
And if you recall from earlier in this discussion, Stacie does not like hills.
And we did this ride the first time, I think in the first year or shortly after my first year of riding.
It's very
really early
in your riding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
So we went there. We even drove the course.
Oh, yeah.
But little did we realize driving the course doesn't really do anything because you're pressing the gas pedal and it's pretty easy. So yeah, we ended up, I'm not sure where in the course it was, but I do remember being at the base of one of the hills.
One of many that we had already climbed.
Sure.
It was torture up till then.
Yes. And I do recall being on the side of the road, Stacie in tears, hysterical tears, not just baby tears, hysterical tears.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone riding by wondering what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm. You probably said one of those things that like offended my ego, and I was like, "Oh, I can't do it."
I think those were probably some of the more challenging hills you had
Oh God,
experienced.
yeah, for sure. Not only steeper but longer. Yeah,
Right, right.
yeah,
And one after the other.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
I think our course at home,
yeah,
you can elect to go pretty flat if you want,
yeah,
and the expectation probably wasn't set right.
yeah. And it had a lot of false peaks.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that?
Those can be demoralizing for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
So there were a lot of emotions there.
Mm. That was a
And
catastrophic ride for sure.
yeah, it was.
Yeah.
But it's catastrophic in the moment. But I think if you survive it, both as the rider and then as a couple,
Mm.
if you
Mm.
can get out of it and still, like for us, that was a trip.
Yeah.
So it's not like it destroyed the entire trip.
Yeah, true.
That was a hard day for
Oh, yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
But and I think we even had pictures where, at the end, you're still, there's some smiles there.
Oh, yeah.
You-
I think I've like wiped it from my memory.
Great.
Yeah, that was a hard one. As far as the cute side, the highs of just riding a tailwind. And I know that's the smallest little thing, but I feel like we can share that.
Mhm.
Like no one else will know that high of catching that tailwind and zooming by,
Mhm. Yeah, I would agree. I think that's one of the most special things about riding together as a couple, as small as it is.
Yes.
It's sharing, it's not even just the highs. I think it's sharing the highs and the lows.
Right.
But whatever happens on the ride,
Yeah.
we experience them together.
Yeah.
And it can be a very emotional roller coaster. I mean, it can be like,
Jeez.
I mean, even if nothing catastrophic happens, it can still be, the highs of that tailwind and a
Mhm.
beautiful sunset and the
Mhm.
feeling of speed, on a descent.
Mm.
It can also be the frustration of dealing with that one crazy motorist.
Oh yeah. Remember
Um,
I yelled at that guy.
which one? You've yelled at many.
Well, it was for you. Like I feel like we defend each other,
That's true. That's true.
So.
Yes. We come back from a ride and kind of recount the experience, and it in a way it brings us closer together. It's something that
Yeah.
we're experiencing as a couple, which
Mhm.
is really cool.
Can I tell you my favorite
Sure.
memory?
Do tell.
You proposed in Japan, in Onomichi, in your
Yes.
cycling kit with your helmet,
Yes.
fully.
I don't know if that's a good thing. I often question that in retrospect. Was having the helmet especially still
Oh,
on?
that's priceless.
The kit
Yeah.
was bad enough, but yeah.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting it. It was.
You were actually super grumpy that ride.
I was, because you told me this was our first day there. And you said, let's just go on a casual ride, just maybe like 20 miles or so. Be a real chill ride. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, and we'll bring some musubis and
Those are rice balls.
And yeah, we'll go watch the sunset or something. And I thought, oh, this is heaven. This is awesome. And there were such like beautiful, beautiful beaches, and the views were so epic. But then we got on the road, and all of a sudden you like started taking off. I'm like, this is supposed to be a chill ride. This is not fun. Like, what are you doing? Why are you going so fast?
So this is like many situations within our cycling relationship. This was two very different perspectives. That was one.
Yes.
My perspective, on the other hand, is, do I have the ring? Where am I keeping the ring? How do I make sure the ring doesn't fall out?
Yeah.
Then how do we get to the exact right spot at the right time when the sun is in the right spot, but not miss it? And we have to go and get the rice balls beforehand. We have to ride back to that point, and we can't miss it.
God. Yeah.
So very different.
Very different.
Yeah.
No.
So you might understand a little bit of the haste in getting there at the right time.
Yeah, that was all forgotten when you fed me.
Yeah, that's true.
My grumpiness came down.
Right.
And so I was ready to receive the
Ready to receive.
ready to receive.
The monster was quieted.
Yeah. And then you proposed, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, you're in your kit."
What was that? Was that what you were thinking? Just how ridiculous I looked doing that?
No, actually,
I mean,
which
come
is
on, it was
strange.
a pretty nice sunset.
I know, and it didn't dawn on me that it's weird that you're in your kit, because we ride all the time, so it was like the perfect cyclist proposal, you know? So it was not weird at all.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
I was hoping that would be the case.
Yes, I did say yes,
That's true.
so
That's
it
true.
wasn't that weird.
Yeah, I guess so. All right, so to wrap this whole thing up, we have to answer the question: Is cycling as a couple cute, or is it catastrophic?
Well, if you're not willing to listen or learn from your partner, make, little sacrifices here and there, I think it can get off, the rails really quickly, and it can be pretty catastrophic.
That's true. I would agree with that. But I think if you treat cycling as you would a relationship, which obviously requires, in many cases, quite a bit of patience.
Yes.
And understanding. I really feel like it's about trying to put yourself in the other person's shoes to really understand that perspective. You're coming from two very different standpoints. But if you're able to do that and maybe sprinkle in some humor in there, I think it can definitely be one of the most rewarding experiences that you can have as a couple.